I'm going to get so much for this video, but it's about time someone finally said it. The Ubiquiti lineup is perfect for small to mid-sized business, and here's why. Let's get to it. Now, before you flame me in the comments, yes, if this were 2 years ago, I would agree with you. Today, I do not, and here's why. Today's businesses are not yesterday's businesses. Yesterday's businesses were hosting their AS400 in a back closet somewhere, and state-of-the-art Nortel phone system, and all sorts of different things that were on-prem and needed to be protected.
Basically, the network consists of another one of these boxes. This looks familiar, right? This is a US Robotics 8700. We got a spare drive for it sitting right on top. And if you look, this big white box is this phone system. I don't do anything with that. The radio is for music on hold. This is all telephones, all of this wiring here.
And Ubiquiti's system back then, it was a mess. Certain things you could use and certain things just flat out didn't work. The reliability was all over the map. It wasn't wonderful. Today's businesses are moving to the cloud. They primarily need three things on their network. A network that can run printers, scanners, maybe casting, some displays, a Wi-Fi network, for Wi-Fi devices, and basic protection from hackers. That's pretty much it. And you know what? Ubiquiti does that incredibly well and incredibly easy to set up. Is it perfect? No. But for the price and for the audience, it is. They might also need security cameras. But guess what? Ubiquiti does those also. And actually, they do them pretty well. Are they as amazing as some of the other systems out there that we've used? I've installed hundreds of cameras on Verkada, which is an enterprise-level camera system. No, it doesn't have all of those same features, but it does have a lot of them. Does it have more features than, a consumer-level brand like Wise or Arlo, for example? Yeah, it does. Sometimes. Has better facial recognition capabilities. It has local recording, which many of them don't, and a lot of people wish that they did. Some people say it's a benefit that they don't have local recording on brands like Arlo or Wise or Ring or others. That's one of the things that people do like about the Ubiquiti cameras is that it's all recorded local onto your hard drives on your network, and so lower latency, better viewing, no streaming, etc. But Ubiquiti is unreliable. Their stuff is hard to use. Their security is not good enough. Stop it. Before the pandemic, I would have agreed with you. But since 2020, Ubiquiti has really upped their game and has been crushing it in delivering features, building out an ecosystem that is perfect for small to medium-sized businesses. They offer, with no licensing fees and affordable hardware, a single controller to rule them all, or you could do cloud hosting, also works, that does firewall, threat protection, Wi-Fi management, network video recording, and more. They have an entire lineup of powerful networking hardware from Wi-Fi to switches and beyond. But it can't scale! Yes, it can. I have a client of mine that has 200 acres up in the mountains that they operate as a resort, getaway, cabin in the woods rental property. And we've got nearly 80 Ubiquiti devices on the network, powering cameras, Wi-Fi, TVs, you name it. I have Ubiquiti up and running at over 100 client locations. And the issues are rare. And when they do fail, Ubiquiti devices are affordable enough to have a couple of hot spares on the shelf ready to go. Whether it's a 24-port rack-mounted PoE switch, which is a little bit more expensive, or the 48-port, which is even more expensive, or it's a Wi-Fi access point that's $100. Or if you don't need something as extreme because you're a much smaller business, an 8-port PoE switch, or not even PoE switch, is even more affordable and easy to just pull off the shelf whenever you need to replace something. They do have an RMA process, and you can get products warranted. And it does work. It does take a little bit of a while, but you absolutely can. Their camera lineup is also affordable and attractive, and a good balance of price and specifications. I'm personally a big fan of the G4 bullet cameras with a 2K sensor, and soon they're going to be releasing the G5 line, and I know I'll be a fan of that when it comes out as well. They're building an ecosystem around managing office operations and are on track to do a really good job of it. They even offer phone services, display management, and soon electric vehicle charging. Now, I personally do not have any use case for most of those things, but when it comes down to the core competencies of network, security, cameras, routing, runs like a dream. But they got hacked! Well, sort of. It was an inside job. The guy was caught attempting to extort them for money, and no hack actually took place.
Spoiler alert, however, the whistleblower was complete BS. The whistleblower himself that sent the letter to Brian Krebs made it all up. And made it all up because Ubiquiti didn't pay his ransom, right? So he had extorted Ubiquiti for some money. When Ubiquiti didn't pay up, he said, well, guess what? Now I'm a whistleblower, and I'm going to make up all kinds of stuff about Ubiquiti in order to malign them publicly, which actually worked because their stock price dropped dramatically.
Not only are their systems still secure, but they handled the situation correctly, elegantly, and did everything by the book. And honestly, that's all I can ask, especially of a company that is not geared towards mega enterprise companies. And even companies that are, LastPass, for example, they had all the certifications that their systems were secure as hell, and they still broke a cardinal rule, not allowing an employee to work on a personal device. And that's how they got hosed. Ubiquiti, it looked like they got hacked, their stock tanked, everybody thought it was terrible. Didn't actually happen. Inside job. Do they sometimes have issues? Yes, but no system is perfect. Recently, at one of my clients, they have an enterprise-grade Palo Alto firewall that just completely melted down. Now, does Palo Alto have a turnaround time for their RMA process after you diagnose the issue of a day that it can be shipped there and replaced? Yes, but it took them over a week to diagnose that it was even the firewall. And I stepped in, we removed the firewall, put in the Ubiquiti system, which they're already using at a bunch of their other sites that I'm familiar with, and they're back up and running almost same day. Stay tuned for the network cleanup video of that client with a 17-year-old network closet that really needs work. Whether you're a small business with one office and you need the Dream Router, or a larger business and need the rack-mounted Ubiquiti Dream Machine Pro, Tab Geek's going to help you set up, manage, and deploy your networks. If you found this video helpful and would like to hire us, I'll drop the links below. That's all for this rant. If you found it helpful, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. Till next time.